Your Honor, 12 cycles. Last arrest was September 17th, 2024 for simple battery out of Union City. That was a conviction, Your Honor. Was sentenced 10/1/2024 to 12 months probation. Also has an open case for criminal damage to property out of Clayton County. That arrest date was June 14th, 2022. In addition, there are convictions from 2020 for possession of methamphetamine, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and a 2017 conviction for DUI. Nothing further.
Ms. Fawcett?
Yes, Your Honor. The facts of this case are that the defendant and the victim in this case, the defendant's girlfriend, Ms. Deshauna Newsom, they were traveling in a vehicle and had a verbal disagreement while they were traveling. The defendant attempted to snatch the victim's phone, and the victim tried to get the phone back from her, and this led to the defendant biting the victim's fingers. Our recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Deshauna Newsom, and then stay away, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And we would also like to sound for victim Deshauna Newsom, who may be on the call this afternoon.
Ms. Newsom? Deshauna Newsom.
Yes.
All right. Did you want to add anything to this case?
We're currently staying together, so I'm not sure how this one works.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
All right. You still live together? Okay, I understand that. But he has been arrested for allegedly committing a battery upon your person.
Yeah.
So how long have you been living together?
For a couple months now, and I'm getting a place next month that we're actually supposed to be moving into together, a house in Cummings, Georgia. But right now we're staying together, we're working together. He just had an interview at the job for Ford. So
working together? What do you mean?
Well, we had this interview at this place together we're supposed to be starting with. And we had an interview last week for Ford, which is a dealership in Alpharetta.
What's your middle name?
Sierra.
Deshauna Sierra?
Sierra Newsom, yes.
So he's already on probation regards to you, and he's required to have no further contact with you. And what you're telling me now, that based on this incident and that you're living together, he's in violation of his probation terms.
Well, they never told me that he wasn't supposed to have contact.
They don't have to tell you. He knows. He was sentenced.
He didn't tell me that either.
That's his problem, not yours.
Okay.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Fawcett?
No, Your Honor. In light of the fact, I'm sorry, I meant yes, Your Honor. In light of the fact that Mr. Stewart has had contact with the victim in this case, even though he wasn't supposed to, we feel that that's definitely signs that Mr. Stewart will reoffend or continue to reoffend. And so we would definitely be asking that the state implement the conditions that we asked for, and also our request for the surety bond in the amount of $3,000. Well, actually $5,000. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Due to that testimony, I would actually increase my recommendation to $5,000.
Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, we would propose that the court give him a signature bond with conditions that would be appropriate, but he has worked in roadside assistance for 2 or 3 years. He's 37 years old. He's a high school graduate prior to the last 2 or 3 years working in roadside assistance. Does that by contract with quite a few people through a lot of companies. He also worked at a Nissan dealership. So we want to consider the signature bond if that is possible, or if not, then a $1,000 surety bond.
Well, I would, except that he's now in violation of his probation, so I'm not sure what the state's going to do in terms of probation. But the bond is set at $5,000. It is a surety bond. Mr. Stewart, in case you didn't understand your sentence from the last case, 24 CR 6606E, You are to stay 200 yards away from Deshauna. You cannot have any contact with her. You cannot live with her. You cannot communicate with her. You cannot touch her. You are to have absolutely no communication in person, mail, email, third party, phone, computers, social media, nothing. And now, as a result of this new arrest, I think you may have not only jeopardized your probation, but you definitely don't qualify for a signature bond because I don't think you know how to comply with the sentence, much less conditions of a bond. As I said, no further contact with Deshauna Sierra Newsom. You are to update the court with your new address once you are released on bond because you cannot return and live with Ms. Newsom. You are to not have any illegal drugs, not consume no alcohol, and definitely not possess or own any weapons. Your next court date will be February 4th. Thank you.
You guys will see in the background.
This is State versus Kevin Morales, accused of battery, family violence from January 21st of this year, case 25 CR 355J. Mr. Morales, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. McLean. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. He has 4 cycles. Last arrest was September 5th, 2024 for simple assault, family violence. He does have 2 open cases out of Fulton County. Case number 24 CR 006375G, battery, family violence, and case number 24 CR 006715G, simple assault, family violence. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Fawcett?
Yes, Your Honor. On January 21st, the defendant's father had approached the defendant about his loud music. This led to a dispute. The defendant then pushed, punched, and choked his father, the victim, Mr. Garcia Morales. The defendant's father sustained bruises to his knee, arm, and stomach. The defendant and his father were living together at the time of the incident. The location of 12 Peachtree Avenue, Unit 3, Northeast in Atlanta, here in Fulton County. The state's recommendation for this case is a $3,500 surety bond, stay away from the incident location, no further contact with Mr. Morales, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right. Mr. McLean?
I'm sorry, could you repeat I heard the conditions. What was the actual recommendation?
3,500 surety.
Understood. Your Honor, Mr. Morales does have what he has on the arrest record. He went to North Atlanta High School, 11th grade. He's worked for a year in hardwood floors, finishing hardwood floors, and he has generally worked for several years in the construction trades, including plumbing. Your Honor, even if there were a requirement of some counseling, we would ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond, including a signature bond, if that is at all possible. But he's asking the court to allow him to have a bond that he can make.
Ms. Harvey, could you give me those case numbers again? Because I don't know whether he's under a different name.
He is, Judge. He's under Kevin Morales / Ozunia, but I can give you the case numbers as well, Judge.
24 CR 006375G.
Yes, Judge.
And the other one?
24 CR 006715G.
And is he a pretrial candidate in any of them?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Morales, your bond is going to be set at $5,000. It's going to be a surety bond. No further contact with Garcia Morales, to stay away from 12 Peachtree Avenue in Northeast Atlanta. Your next court date is going to be February 4th. And we are going to be, if you don't bond out, we will address all 3 cases on the SAP calendar. And that's going to be 24 CR 006375G, 24 CR 006715G, and this new case as well. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you.